Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Sunita, Assistant Professor of English, Maharani Commerce College, Mysore. In my last video, I had discussed about letters of complaints and settlements in business correspondence and what are the points that must be included while composing these letters and under which circumstances these letters are composed in business field. That's what we had discussed. I also discussed about the terms like communication, business communication and business correspondence. Today, in continuation of part 1 video, I'll explain how to compose letters of complaints and settlements with 4 specimen letters and 7 essential parts of business letters which must be included in business correspondence. So, the 7 parts of a business letter. What are these 7 parts that we must include while writing any type of business letters? So, these 7 parts are heading, date, address, salutation, body of the letter, complimentary clause and signature. So, these are the essential parts that we must include and that we must give more attention and must write effectively while composing any type of business letters. And here the first 3 parts, heading, date and address, are also known as superscription in business letters, and the last 2 parts, complimentary clause and signature, are also known as subscription in business letters. So first let's talk about heading. Heading is actually it's a company letterhead and it includes the company name, address and contact details. Usually almost all the companies keep their own letterhead, and in that letterhead they usually compose all the types of business letters and formal letters. So the company letterhead usually is what known as heading in a business letter. And the second part is date, and the format of the date must be here like I have shown in the video. First date without any ordinal numbers and the month, name and year. So this format must be followed in all the business letters and informal letters. Third part is address. Address here is actually the recipient address to whom we are writing this letter. Their address must be written here in this part. And the fourth one is salutation. A salutation is actually where we, with all due respect, address the recipient of the letter. And if you are addressing a man, in the salutation part, you must write dear sir. Or if you are addressing a lady, then in the salutation part, you must write dear madam. So, if you are addressing more than one man, then you can write dear sirs or dear miss. Or if you are addressing more than one lady, then you must write in the salutation part dear madam. It's the plural form of madam. So, in short, you can also write madam as M-M-E-S. And in the salutation part, you can also address the recipient with his name or with his designation, like I have shown here, dear Mr. Rao or dear Professor Rao, dear Miss Rupa or dear Dr. Rupa. So that's how usually we address the recipient in salutation part of any business letters. And now we will move to the next part of a business letter, that is body of the letter, which is also very much important while composing these business letters. In this body of the letter, usually it includes the reason or motive behind writing this any type of business letter, and it usually includes introduction part, details and conclusion. So the 6th part of a business letter is complimentary clause, and here we can end a business letter in 3 types: yours faithfully, or yours sincerely, and yours respectfully. So if you have written the recipient without his name, then in the complimentary clause you must write yours faithfully. Or if you are address the recipient with their name, then you must address the person in the complimentary clause yours sincerely. And if you are addressing a lady in the salutation, in the complimentary clause you must write yours respectfully. So, but nowadays actually in the business field they write only sincerely. Whoever they might have addressed, usually they write yours sincerely. And in the last part, signature. Signature actually is the signature of the person who composes a business letter. And if you put the signature before the name and designation, then there should not be any type of parenthesis in signature. Or if you write your name and designation, after that if you put the signature of the person who composes that letter, then signature must be within parenthesis. So that's how signature must be put while composing any type of business letters. And these are the essential 7 parts of a business letter that one must learn effectively before writing any type of business letter. Before we learn how to compose letters of complaints and settlements, let's briefly learn about different layouts of a business letter. Here actually layout means the physical structure or form of a business letter. How the information is filled within a business letter in order, that's what a business letter layout tells about. And the main different layouts of a business letter are the indented style, the semi-indented style, the hanging paragraph style, the block style, the semi-block style, the modified block style, and the NOMA style. So these are the different layouts that are being used in the business field. But nowadays, usually in the business field or in organizations, they use the block style and the semi-indented style. So now let's see how to compose letters of complaints and settlements with some specimen letters. These letters are actually composed on probable errors that may happen from the side of sellers, like supply of wrong or damaged goods, short supply of products, and delay in sending a consignment. So, in this letter number 1, the question is to compose a letter of complaint from the Star Electricals, Bangalore, for the short supply of Usha ceiling fans consignment, and an adjustment letter in reply to the complaint from the Ericsson Company Private Limited, Mumbai. Okay, now let's see how to compose the complaint letter in answer to the question. Before that, let me tell you, here in both the complaint and the settlement letters, I have used the block style layout, and in this block style layout, all the information gets left justified with single space from the margin and double space from among different sections of the letter. Another important thing is, among all those types of layout, the block style layout is one of the common that's being used in business correspondence because it makes a letter clear and legible. So, first, while composing the letter, write the heading, which is actually the company letterhead, and it includes the company name in the middle of the page, address on the right side, and the contact details on the left side of the page. If they don't give any company name or address in the question, write a fictional company name with address and contact details. The heading is followed by date, and after 2 lines of space, write the recipient designation and address. After the address, carefully write a suitable salutation, because actually with salutation a relationship begins to establish between 2 organizations when you compose a business letter. So be very careful while choosing salutation part in business letters. Salutation is followed by subject line. Usually subject line is not necessary when a business letter is brief, but it can be helpful to convey the subject of the letter immediately. So make the subject line short and catchy so that it can draw the attention of the recipient as soon as it reaches him. Like here, you can see complaint on short supply of the consignment. Now, the body of the letter, here first make a reference to the order number and date of the consignment. Then briefly tell about the nature of the complaint and inconveniences or problems that the customer went through because of the error. Along with that, write a note on how the error must be rectified by the seller, and end the body of the letter with an expression of hope that their cordial business relationship will be as it was in the past. Finally, write thank you in the left side with complimentary close, yours faithfully, because in the salutation we have not written the name of the recipient while addressing. So yours faithfully is a suitable complimentary close here. And finally put the signature of the sender with designation. You can write any fictional name with designation here. That's how a complaint letter must be composed. Even in this settlement or adjustment letter, in reply to the complaint, first write the heading of the seller or the sender of the letter, followed by date and the recipient's designation and address. In the signature part of the previous complaint letter, manager is actually mentioned in the designation place. So here write the manager before the address of the recipient. Then after 2 lines of space, write salutation. As the complaint letter was composed by the lady, you can write respected or dear Miss Maithili Rao or dear Madam here. After salutation, write the subject, which is again must be short and catchy, like an apology and adjustment letter, like you can see here. In the body of the letter, again make a reference of the order number and date with a note of regret for causing inconvenience. Then briefly write about how the error is rectified with an expression of apology. And finally write an expression of hope that the cordial business relationship in future also will continue. In the ending, write thank you on the left side of the page with complimentary close, yours faithfully, signature and designation. Like this, an adjustment or settlement letter should be composed in business correspondence. In letter number 2, the question is to compose a letter of complaint and settlement for the delay in sending the consignment from the seller Enrich Milk Products Limited, Bangalore. They haven't given the name of the customer or a buyer. So you can write an imaginary company name and address with contact details here. In answer to the question, the complaint and settlement letter is composed in the semi-indented layout here, but other parts of the letter are written in the same way. You go through these letters by pausing the video and make a note of them. Even the letter number 3 and 4 are composed in the semi-indented layout on wrong and damaged supply of the consignment, and adjustment letters are written in reply to them. You go through these letters slowly by pausing the video and note of these letters. Here I have given 2 questions for practice. So make sure you compose the letters to these questions by following the same format of the previous letters. With this, I'll end this video. I hope you have understood about the letters of complaints and the settlements and how to compose these letters. If you like my video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching. I will meet you soon with a new video.